swimming in a swimobile. I remember I don't get them in. I don't see. Hey, Detroit, good afternoon. You are watching Beauty in the D live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other social media platforms. So follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And let's not forget the oldest jazz station in the world. You can tune in today. You can also call in at 313-355-6018. We want to give a special acknowledgement to our sponsors. We have Mina Martinez of Media Marketing Management, who handles all of my social media. We also have Giovanni McCall, also known as G, the short hair slayer, who keeps me fly every week. You can visit her at Mark Roberts Hair Salon in Southfield, Michigan. And last but not least, we have the London consulting firm who sponsors and powers this show. Again, thank you for tuning in, Detroit, for another great week. I am super excited to announce the guest that we have here today. It is Mr. Kevin Maples, who is an award-winning business and digital marketing professional with over 15 years of multiple industry expertise. Kevin Maples is most notably known for leading promotions, stellar events, and marketing campaigns for Remy Martin XO, local Detroit businesses, and much, much more. In addition, Kevin Maples serves as the first African American general sales manager at Les Stanford Buick GMC in Ferndale, Michigan, with 24 years of experience and sound auto industry knowledge. Thank you and welcome for coming to the show.
Steph, thanks for having me. Always got to jump when you make that call.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. You know, we go back so far. We've been knowing each other so long. And we both have been in our respective careers for over 2 decades.
Right.
And we still at it and still doing it.
Man, with the same intensity. I mean, it's funny you think about it. I mean, we've been always trying to grow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you stop, and you know I haven't either.
You have not. I've been following you so long, not just for the car sales, because that's where it started out, you know. Not minimizing where we've been or what we've done, but people need to know we didn't just wake up and get here. You know, I remember you were grinding and doing the referrals. You know, you sent somebody. I was at State Farm at the time, an employee, you know, and you was making magic happen. You was a top salesperson then.
Well, you know, I found out that it didn't matter who you know. It mattered who knew you.
Okay.
And one of the best ways I thought to do that was to just start giving referrals. And I started referring people to people, and the next thing you know, those people started referring people back. So I tried to initiate that relationship to show people, hey, whatever you do, I want to start supporting it. And as I continue to do that, more people start sending people my way, and next thing you know, I decided to market myself as Metro Detroit's most referred salesman, and that platform just took off.
Well, you know, I always refer to you, and I hope it's not offensive, but I always say that's the king of cars. That's how I refer to you.
I'll take that.
You know.
I mean, I don't know if there's many people that love the car business like I do.
Exactly.
I think it's one of the coolest jobs in the world to have, and when you can make that a career, cars change people's life. I mean, when you get a new car, you feel good. I don't care what was going on that day. You know, when you get a new car, you feel good, you look good, your confidence change, your walk is different. You know, you just feel better about yourself. Now, and as you get older, you lose that feeling. That's when it's time to get another one.
Okay. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I'm at that time. I'm feeling Cadillac-ish right now.
I don't know. I feel like Buick is back hard. I'm telling you, you may want to give us a shot.
You can help with either or, so, I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, technically, we do have all 4 brands under our family of business, but I run the Buick GMC store. So I'm trying to create some Buick baddies, some Get Money Crew guys that drive GMCs. So I'm trying to, you know, just kind of change the narrative around town. That successful women, I'm trying to have them driving Buicks.
That's a grown vehicle now. That's I'm not even going to call it a car or a vehicle. That's an automobile. As a Buick, you know, that's an automobile.
Well, a lot of people don't know that Buick just changed their logo. They tried to get away the old stigma that it was for older people, or it wasn't for people that had any style. You know, now the new logos, the new vehicles, the new lineup that's coming out. I mean, by the end of the year, every Buick model will have a brand new model.
Okay.
And the new ones, we can't keep them, and we're selling them.
What's the hottest one right now?
I would say the Buick Envista. The
Invista.
new
What's
Buick
the Invista? I'm
Envista.
not even up on
It's
that.
a new crossover. It looks like a BMW or
Okay.
something along those lines, but it's a crossover starting at like 25,000. But it's a beautiful car.
That's not a bad price.
Nope, nope. And they've made it where it's an entry level vehicle, so it's appealing to the first time buyers, but it's also appealing to older professionals, and it's got a good price at a time when the car prices are going up.
Good point. Good point. And so you can still get that luxury feel out of that.
And luxury look. So like you say, you get one of these, even if you got the top of the line, it's only 30,000.
Really?
But you can pull up somewhere and you got people turning heads. You got everybody asking what kind of car is that, because they
Okay.
haven't seen the new logo, and then it's an all new design. Everything about it is new.
Thank you for sharing that. And look, just that quick, how you just changed my perspective. I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
feeling Cadillac. You like, no.
Hold on,
Let me
check
put
us
you
out.
something good.
Yeah,
and
because
it's economical.
a lot of people don't know. I mean, and honestly, the Buick GMC brand, his marketing, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. I mean, they're just trying to grow that part of the GM business, because Buick's the fastest growing brand right now for GM, and they're ranked the highest quality above Cadillac, Chevy, and GMC.
Really, the quality. But now that you mention it, I have been seeing a lot more Buick commercials on TV.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
have.
You'll see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you elevated, like going back to how I first started the conversation, how, we met and you were grinding. And let's talk about how you got to where you are now, because the grind has changed. It's a little different. And let's talk about how you transition into that.
Well, as far as dealerships, well, like I said, I've been in the business 25 years this year. And I started out in sales. Like you mentioned, I was number one salesperson for a few years in a row. Then I went into management. Once I went into management, I became one of the top finance guy for the largest dealer group in Michigan. So you're
Wow.
talking
In Michigan, not
in Michigan.
Detroit.
No, so you're
Michigan.
talking about the state of Michigan. Suburban Collection had 54 stores. I was the number one finance guy throughout
How did you
the
do
collection.
that? And that couldn't just been for referrals, because I'm sure everybody in the dealership is, looking for referrals. How
I
did you
think
do
the
that?
difference for me is that I just have a lot of relationships around town that people trust me as their source for transportation. So a lot of times, if somebody need a car, my generation, they're all my peers, their kids are 19, 20, 21. So now I'm getting second generations of people that I know, in addition to the customers that I used to sell to their parents.
Right.
So now I got the parents, I got the grandmother, the mother, the daughter, the granddaughter. I got a whole family that come support me for car business. So you take that many families, and in addition to what a dealership would already get,
Right.
it just kind of grew that
It just
pot.
grew.
Yeah, and now people, I don't really sell cars. I mean, people come to me, Kev, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm listening to them,
Yeah.
and I find something that fit that scenario.
Okay. So, I've been following you for a while, even with the Wind Down Wednesdays. I want to go back to there, because it could have started before then, but what I'm aware of, when you start getting really on the social scene and not just selling cars, but really being a socialite. At Wind Down Wednesdays at the
Yeah.
cigar bar. Let's talk
Yeah.
about, how did you even get into that
Well-
from selling cars?
Well, the funny thing is like I told you, as I was networking, I always wondered, how can I increase the amount of people that I know? And I want to do it in a way that felt natural, something I would want to do. And I enjoy conversation with ladies. So I was like, you know what? Hey, let me start attending some wine tastings and getting to know some mature women that may have good credit. I know they can afford cars.
Yeah.
And as I got into that scene, I was working next door to Andiamo's. They were having wine tastings there every month. So I would just go to the wine tastings and get to know people. And then I start, putting my own tablecloth on the tables at the wine
Kevin
table.
Maples? Okay.
Yeah, I started sponsoring the wine tables, tastings, and then they gave me the option to have my own.
Okay.
So once I had my own wine tasting, I had 150 ladies there. I'm the only guy. And they like, Kevin, you need some men here. And I'm like, well, I don't know 150 stand-up guys. I mean, like, that's, I got 20, you know what I'm saying? That's a
hot 20.
That's it. I got 20 that I would refer to somebody, but 150. So at the time I went down the street, it was a cigar bar. And I asked him, hey, how many members do you have? He said, a couple hundred. I said, well, man, I do these wine tastings. I got 150 ladies that would love some gentlemen to talk to while they sipping wine. And I said, cigar smokers are generally men that, you know, they can hold a conversation. It can take a while to smoke a cigar. So you're used to talking and conversating and smoking for a little bit. And I said, wouldn't they appreciate 150 ladies to drink some wine with and smoke their cigars with? And now you got the ladies smoking cigars, you got the fellas drinking wine. And by the time it was done, they're like, man, you need to do this more often. And I was like, well, let me see what I can do. And back then, I ended up going to visit 1701, and I just liked the place. And when I saw it, I was like, man, this is just. It was a speakeasy, you know. So it was just at the time I hadn't really hung at any speakeasies, and I liked it. Went and talked to the owner and told him about my idea, and he went with it. And next thing you know, it was Wine Down Wednesday.
And it lasted for a while. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would say, man, I did 4 years at the cigar bar. Then I did it for 4 years at Floods.
Okay. And I got to be honest. I did steal the idea. Well, I'll say borrow it. And I took it with me to Atlanta.
Really?
I started doing networking events and called it Wine Down Wednesday.
That's pretty dope.
My girlfriend had the spot. And
That's
so, yeah, but it courtesy of Kevin Maples. You know, I'm transparent. I give credit to where credit is due.
I can appreciate that because for me, I felt like it broke up my week. It was something I wanted to do. And I love seeing a lot of professionals get to know other people. I love to see people network, and that's what was happening at these events. It was working professionals coming after work, exchanging business cards, getting to know people, and everybody was talking to each other. You go to a party, most people just sitting off, just talking to people that they came with.
Yeah.
After work affair, networking event, you have people networking. Man, I probably created a couple families.
You probably did.
You know,
because I even had a birthday party because of you. So it was great networking. And then the extras that you did. I remember when you came in as Goldie. Did that was for Halloween.
That was Halloween.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a tribute to the Mac. When I was young,
you
that
did
was one
that
of my favorite
too.
movies. Yeah, I had to do it once in my lifetime.
Yeah, you did it that night. You came in with the fur and I remember even celebrating after the Grand Auto Show. Like you had some things. You had a lot of good things going on at the cigar bar. And I recently, I've been only twice, but I think I'm going to become a member at Bird Cigar.
Okay.
And it kind of gives me that feel. It was kind of a little bit more private, but the conversation piece, you know, having cigar, you know, I don't really smoke cigars, but it is, as you said, a good conversation piece and a good way to, it's not just a party. So that was really innovative.
Now, what's really funny about that, if you go on the Bird's page right now, their Wednesday nights called Wine Down.
It is. I'm going to have Will on here next.
I laughed when I saw that because obviously, like I said, I don't even know if I created it. I don't know if I saw it somewhere. It was just a thought that I had, and next thing you know, that's what it was. So I can't tell somebody they can't use it, you know. But I know, if nothing else, they weren't thinking of Wednesday. They used to think it was Hump Day, or Wednesday was Shane Park, night. But you know, I used to partner.
Night.
Yeah, I used to partner with them for the Shane Park Jazz Series after parties on Wednesdays. So they used to do that with us. But even at Birds, as an example, I have a locker there, so I'm a member there. So I mean, I still a lot of those people in that cigar community, we're still friends to this day.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I really felt the vibe. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get a membership here.
Yeah, no, I like it over there. I mean, it's real low key.
Very.
Like I said, it's a private club. Like I say, I was one of the first members they had, so I went in. I could say I got a locker in there, stocked with some Remy XO, so you know it's ready to go.
You know how you do. Hey. So let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought the Remy XO in. So how did you go from car salesman, everybody, to the Wine Down Wednesdays to Remy XO? Well,
that was because of 1701 Cigar Bar.
Really?
Yep. So when I brought Wine Down Wednesday to them, they was like, Kevin, hey, you know, you got all these cigar smokers and you got these ladies drinking wine. You need some cognac for the men. I'm going to introduce you to the rep for Remy Martin.
Okay.
And the owner of the cigar bar introduced me to the owner, Remy Martin.
Wow.
That was probably back in 2010.
That is so hot, and that is so prestigious. You know, we ain't talking about E&J. No disrespect, but I'm just saying. We talking Remy XO.
Yeah, yeah. Well, not back then. Back then, like I say, Remy, it was you had to go where the marketing dollars were at. So
Okay.
when I first started with them, the marketing dollars was in Remy V. They had just came out with the white Remy,
The white.
and
I
it
don't
was
even see that anymore.
they don't well because I'm not promoting it no more. You know, and when back then it was new to the scene.
Yeah.
It was you know, we was kind of trying to be a white cognac, but not really do too much vodka. But because
Yeah.
it was white, people wanted like cranberry and juice with it.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was just proud to have a global brand willing to partner with me. So
Absolutely.
if you telling me I got to promote Remy V, I'm gonna treat it like the best cognac ever had.
I know that's right. Kevin Maples from the east side.
Right.
What high school did you graduate
I
from?
went to Kettering. I started at Osborne, transferred over to Kettering, but it's our 30th year reunion this year. So I'm on the committee putting together that for our 30th reunion.
I
this
know it's
year,
gonna be
too.
fabulous. You on the
Oh,
committee.
yeah, yeah. Well, they tasked me with a lot with that, but
Okay.
I love my classmates and I appreciate they trust me a lot. So.
I love saying that I'm from Detroit. What about you?
Oh, I love it. I'm a part of Detroit. I mean, you know that's why you might anything that's going on in Detroit, in every zip code I know somebody. So if
Yeah,
you're out of
you do.
town, if you tell somebody you're from Detroit and you don't know me, it may be a problem.
It might be a problem.
They might have to
Speaking
question.
of problems,
You know.
why you didn't get that girl a job on the Tubi movie? Speaking of a problem, why you didn't give on your debut in the Tubi movie?
Well, you know what? I mean, at the time, I didn't know the whole story of the movie. They just kind of let me know what they wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as I watched the movie, I mean, she was a hustler. I mean, I
Yeah.
wish I had hired her. I'm sure she would have sold a lot of
Okay.
cars.
Sold a whole lot.
Crystal, I'm just telling you. Listen, I did want to hire you. You would have been my top salesperson. I would have put you on billboards, radio, TV. I would have done it all.
Yeah, but the script said no.
Yeah, they said
So,
no.
speaking of Tubi, do you see any more future projects on Tubi or doing any?
Well, a lot of my friends are directors, producers, executive producers. A couple of them have asked me to get involved in a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it, but I think it's just has to be the right movie. I don't want to be in any type of movie.
Okay.
Because like I said, in the position I'm in, I just, everything, all my friends can't go everywhere I go. So
Right.
some things I can do, some things I got to pass on.
Yeah, I totally can feel you on that.
Mhm.
So now you're in the fashion industry, the fashion world,
Yeah.
and congratulations.
I brought my
on your-
ring. I brought my ring.
Show it to the camera. Show the
I brought
ring.
my ring. I brought it with me.
If that's not representing, I don't know what is. Okay, that was a really iconic award representing the city of Detroit. Talk about the award, please.
Well, I want to thank the Detroit Fashion Choice Awards. They created a platform for the fashion industry in Detroit and put together an awards show where people all over the city got to vote. And they were voting from the top designer, top stylist, top fashion show, top model of Detroit, and then they came to Detroit top fashion organization. Last year I joined Detroit Fashion Community as their director of events, and we've had a great year. And actually, I started to bring our yearbook just to kind of let you see the body of work that we did for the year. But we were able to give away some scholarships, support a lot of people in the fashion industry, from models to designers. I mean, we did a lot last year. And this
Are
year
you guys
we're trying
a
to be
for-profit or not?
nonprofit.
Okay.
Yep, nonprofit organization.
And I'm sorry, you said this year what?
This year, we're just trying to just be more impactful and have more impactful events in the community. We just did an event last week where we partnered with the Build and Better Men Foundation. We did a wear a hat, donate a hat event, networking event where everybody wore hats, fashionable hats, but we also donated coats, hats, and gloves to their foundation.
Okay.
And those items we donated, we're going to be given to some DPS school.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love, me, I'm hands-on in the community. Volunteering, you have to give. You can't just get, hold your hand out. You have to give.
Right.
So, getting back to the fashion, what's the name of it again? The
Detroit Fashion Community.
The Detroit Fashion Community. How did you even become a part of that, let alone become a director?
Honestly, I saw it on Facebook. I saw some people that I know sharing that they were looking for directors, and the organization has been around since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I had happened to just see it across my timeline, and then when I looked at it, I dug into it and just kind of looked up the organization, saw what they were about, and just thought about it. Like, I've done a lot of things
Yeah.
in the city, and a lot of it's been putting me in different rooms. And when I looked at the fashion community, I honestly said I didn't know many people in the city in the fashion industry. I do enjoy reaching people, connecting people, so I just applied for it. And
Okay.
they had to go through an interview process where the directors interviewed a lot of people for this position, and they just happened to pick me, and I tried to do the best I could for them.
Well, you fit right in because you've
Yeah.
always been fly.
Okay.
You haven't always just sold cars. You always had that swag with you as well.
No, for
So
sure.
you bring that. You bringing it today. You
Yeah,
bring it
for
all the
sure.
time.
No, it was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't something that you know, 5 years ago, I would have never thought I would be hanging with, 10 models and designers and stylists and makeup artists and hairstylists
Mm-hmm.
and they, I think they needed somebody like me, somebody from the outside of their industry to help them grow Detroit fashion. And now you're seeing other organizations pop up. You're seeing more people talk about Detroit fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and as we're seeing it grow, we're reaching out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we don't mind people copying what we're doing or doing something similar. We're just trying to connect with them and grow fashion industry in Detroit. And if you wanted to become a designer or a stylist or a model, we want you to be able to have a sustainable career in Detroit, just like you could in New York and LA. So we're finding jobs for models. We're finding designers,
Okay.
models. We're connecting people
Yeah.
with fabricators and manufacturers that will help them grow whatever they're doing. So you're seeing more local people. They're fat. They're growing. Because the reach is getting bigger all the way around.
Yeah. Thank you for your contribution for that because Detroit, we have al- we have always been known for like our look, our
Hmm.
fashion, our swag. When I go out of town, even when I lived in Atlanta, one of the first questions people would say, "Where you from?" Because
Hmm.
luckily my hairstylist at the time had moved there,
Hmm.
so she kept me fly. It's just something different about our hair,
Hmm.
our
Well, I think it's our
accessories. You
confidence. I
think it's the
mean,
confidence
I,
too?
I know that, I have a lot of friends that, whether it's the Lions Road game, whether it's the All Star game, had it be the Super Bowl or a fight in Vegas,
Hmm.
when you get a group of Detroit men out of town, that when we leave that city,
They know he
everybody
was
there
there.
love our city.
Yep.
From from the hotels to the restaurants to the bars to the lounges
Hmm.
to the people in those cities. They love our men and women because
Hmm.
we go to those cities. It's a vacation for us, and they don't understand what that means. We go hard on
Oh yeah.
vacations,
Yeah.
and we come back home and might be regular everyday people, but on
Right.
vacation we all superstars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Outfit laid out, shoes for each day,
Yeah.
each event. You know it.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, you get a group of us together, it's on.
It's on. Yes, it is. So thank you for that. Thank you for helping to bring awareness
Hmm.
to the fashion industry in the fashion community in Detroit. We're blowing up.
Yeah.
Fashion, the movie scene, the movies. We talked briefly about the Tubi movies.
Hmm.
Tubi is where it's at, and they have good
Yeah,
storylines.
yeah. I mean,
You
even that
know,
Rose Gold movie, I loved it. I mean,
yes.
the quality of the movie was on
Yep.
point. The storyline was good. The acting was good.
Mhm.
I mean, it just speaks to the qualities coming out of the
It
city.
does, and I see it getting better and better. Like I've been following Dennis Reed for a long time,
Hmm.
and even with his span of work, you can see how it get from even the lighting
Hmm.
to the quality of the picture to the storylines. He's getting to me. He's getting broader with the
Yeah.
storylines.
And honestly, for me, I think as I told you early on, a lot of the business I got early is I learned to start giving referrals and start
Hmm.
getting referrals. So same thing with the fashion industry. I started putting a light on them to help shine those, brighten their lights. I did the same thing with the movie industry.
Really.
So with the movie industry, when I was doing the stuff for Remy XO,
Hmm.
I did a gentleman's moment with all the men that are in all the films in Detroit. and
Okay.
Dennis Reed and Darren Brown
Oh,
and
that's
Quinn Sharp.
awesome.
And I mean,
Yeah.
just all the men that I
Yeah.
knew. I had about 20 men where I took them to dinner at Highlands and just wanted to give them their
Okay.
flowers. I had food, Remy Martin XO. We did a gentleman's toast. You know, I had just gave them all gift bags with Remy Martin cufflinks and
Oh
just little
man.
swag bags. And I just wanted them to know that, you know, I see what they're doing. I love what they're
Yes.
doing for our city. And I think they're taking our movie industry to the next level. And I
Yes.
said, if nobody else tells y'all thank you enough, I'm going to be the first one to do it with this opportunity I have through Remy Martin to say, hey, let me do this gentleman's moment.
Yeah.
And we did it on the charity preview night. So we were already dressed to the nines right after the auto show.
Oh,
I treated
yes.
them all to Highlands.
Very
And like I say,
classy.
it was just real next level. I mean,
Yes.
and Our Magazine was there. They came and
Okay.
did a story on me, just for even honoring the people in the movie industry. They liked the fact that, hey, you know, here's a guy that's, you know, is the general manager of the dealership that's
Yeah.
working with Remy Martin and taking this to provide some and sponsors, some guys, just letting them know how much they appreciate it. And that day, Remy Martin gave me a locker at Highlands, so
Okay.
they did a whole little story on me for Our Magazine for that.
I am cheesing so hard right now. As if I did it. I'm just so proud of that. Like, that's so honorable. As a black man, honoring other black men
Yeah,
in
they
our
don't get
community,
that
in our
enough.
city.
You don't get that
Thank you
enough.
for the love, because I'm passionate. I left the city and been here and there and everywhere, but
Mhm.
I can honestly say from experience,
Mhm.
it's no place like home.
No, and I think that's one of the things I try to teach up and coming salesmen that's coming up in our business.
Hmm.
And they talk to me all the time, like, Kevin, like, how do you get so many people to support you? I said, well, look who I support. I support everybody, you know, whatever they into. Whether it's you call and say, Kev, hey, I'm doing insurance. Hey, well, come on up to the dealership.
Yep.
I'm going to let you talk to my staff. Or, hey, Kev, I'm doing a show. Pull up. Hey, guess what? I'm going to
Yep.
stop what I'm doing. I'm going to make time to stop by.
And I appreciate that.
And, you know, but I know that, you know, hey, you could have called anybody in the world, you know. So for making that call to me, I'm always going to show up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the love.
That's for
And
sure.
another thank you, because you were at another dealership some years back on the east side, and I just want to tell you that really helped me make my career. I had got so many referrals
Mm-hmm.
with just coming in there with those little pizzas.
Yeah.
I would come as a pizza lady, come deliver some pizzas on Mondays and Thursdays.
But I tell my sales staff that when I was young, that's one of the things I used to do. Whenever I sold a car, I would look to see where you work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you worked in an office space, you know, that would connect me with another group of people,
Mm-hmm.
I try to come and give food and donate
Yeah.
it to you and your whole staff and get to know everybody work with you.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody's like, well, man, my salesman ain't never came up here. Your salesman look cooler than ours. I want to buy a car from him.
Yep. But it's about consistency and keep trying to think out the box and
100%.
rebranding yourself. Because who knew hot and ready's could go that far? You know what
You're
I'm
right,
saying?
you're
But
right.
it was the consistency of it too.
Mhm.
They know that the insurance lady, she gonna have the pizzas
Mhm.
on this day.
And guess what? Then some people act like, oh, I wouldn't buy hot and ready, but let you get one as a gift. Or somebody show up
They
with
ate
it, they
'em.
go smash 'em.
And they did. But you know, you gave me that opportunity by you made the connection for me and opened the door, and it was up to me to figure out what I was gonna do with that.
Yeah, it's rarely that I do any business that I'm not doing with somebody that I know or somebody that
Yeah.
have done business with me. I know it's no matter what I need, there's somebody in my phone that I can get that from. So I
Yeah.
try to stay within that circle.
Keeping that network broad.
Mhm.
So the award, can
Mhm.
you tell us about the award and the ring? Because I wasn't there, but I heard it was fabulous. My
Mhm.
stylist G was there. She won
Okay.
an award too.
Yeah.
Tell and and I'm asking you this because she gave me her take, her
Mhm.
experience. It was an experience, and I want to hear it from you.
Well, it was definitely a moment for me because I was one of the Vanguard Award presenters.
Okay.
So
You was a presenter.
I was a presenter in the award where I gave the Fashion Lifetime Achievement Award to Chuck Bennett.
Okay.
So Chuck Bennett, he's been an icon in Detroit fashion for years. You always saw him on Channel 2. And the awards team reached out to me and said, Kevin, hey, we love what you're doing with Detroit fashion community, and we see, you know, you just we want to include you into the show. So they gave me the opportunity to present that Lifetime Achievement Award to him and just speak to how much he's done for Detroit fashion.
And that was an honor in itself, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only even tapped into the fashion industry for a year. And within that year, I'm on the stage presenting to one of the top guys in the city. I mean, I believe he's even the person that chooses the Hour magazine, you know, best dressed of Detroit. I know he's done things with Neiman Marcus, Saks.
Yeah.
He's always on the news, and I was just thankful they gave me that opportunity to tell his story and give him his flowers, and it just fell in line with who I am anyways.
Yeah, always winning.
Yeah.
But then to top that off, this is the cherry on top. That was an achievement in itself, but to be able to also receive
Yeah. So
an award. Were you caught off guard?
No, I wouldn't say caught off guard because I believe that this year, when in Detroit, I know Detroit fashion community, we have done a lot to try to make an impact in the city. Some of the other organizations that are on there, they've been maybe doing a lot of things as well, but I wasn't focused on what other people were doing, so I only knew what we were doing. So I felt confident that our body of work, people like what we were doing. And when they came to the vote, like I say, I was I won't say surprised to see us win, but like our photographer, he was voted best fashion photographer.
Really?
He was our photographer for the whole year.
Okay.
So he's the person that donated his time, donated his services. And so I watched our photographer win. Then I saw one of our board members. She was up for best makeup artist.
Okay.
She didn't necessarily win, but she was still in the top 3.
In the
So
category,
then
yeah.
you start looking at one of the other gentlemen who's on my events committee. He was up for top model. So we had about 3 or 4 people that were up for nominations. So if you were voting for them, you may have voted for us too. So
Yeah.
I felt like we had enough people in the award ceremony that had really made an impact in the city that it was a good chance that we could win. And, you know, they ended up voting us in. And like I said, it just made that whole year feel worth it.
I know it
to the city.
did.
Yeah.
And it's one thing, you know, to win, but when you're on a winning team,
Yeah,
when
100%.
everybody on the team is nominated or winning or
Yeah.
recognized, for their hard
I mean,
work.
We had a melting pot of people. I mean, they put us all together. I didn't know most of the people on our board before we came
So
together.
somebody had the foresight to see that all of you guys would work great together.
Yep. So our executive director at the time, her name was Lauren Woodson. She took over the organization this past year, and when she took it over, she revamped everything about the organization. She interviewed all of us, included me. She put together the team. She was behind the idea. She was somebody that's definitely deserves her flowers in the city because she put this all together, and it was her vision. To come up with monthly networking events, and she mentioned something like that to me. That's something I would have been doing anyways.
Yeah.
And now I'm the right person to ask to do something like that. So it just, some of the decisions she's made were just right on point.
So did it feel like you were winning a Grammy?
I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't know. I mean, I didn't go up on the stage to accept the awards.
You didn't?
No, well, it's a lot of us. So I mean,
Okay.
we only had one person go up to receive it,
okay.
and it was our founder of the organization.
Got you. Okay.
Now, had we all went up there, maybe it would have felt more like a Grammy. But I mean, I was happy for us, but I can't say that you know I didn't feel warm and fuzzy about it. You know, I mean. I've won things before. So
I know, because you're a winner. It's all you do is win.
You know what? So, I mean, and actually, I won a Detroit Choice Award for being the top car guy in the city.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So, I won that about 4 years ago.
Okay, so you've been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, that one felt like a Grammy because I did go accept the award. It was something I did by myself. This one, as a team, you know, we did it all together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know you mentioned how you support, obviously, you know, local fashion designers. Do you ever wear any of the local fashion designers?
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of, especially now that I'm in the fashion industry, some of them just donate stuff to me to wear.
Okay.
I was actually just talking to a young lady. She makes leather jackets, a lavish lifestyle. She reached out to me 2 days ago and said, "Kev, what's your size?" And I said, well, I mean, it depends on. So I want to make you one of my custom jackets, leather jackets. And so I told her, well, hey, let me call my guy that I get my clothes from. He has my measurements, so you can, for all custom stuff, I'll just have him send that to you. And she's making me something now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always trying to support
Yeah.
the local people. I mean, even right now, I mean, we're working on, for Black History Month, we're about to honor Black designers in Detroit at the Museum of Metropolitan Design. So
Where will that be? Can the general public come?
it's open to the general public.
Okay,
It's,
so let us know.
February 28th at my downtown Detroit. Well, it's actually Midtown Detroit, but that's the my Metropolitan Museum of Design.
And how much are the tickets? How can we get them?
I think we're gonna do it for free. I mean, we're
free?
honoring
Okay.
Black designers. We're nonprofit, so we always accept donations, but
Okay.
we're not planning to charge for that.
Got you. So speaking of you guys being a nonprofit, let me get a little bit more insight into the organization and what you do. Is this an organization where people purchase memberships to belong to, or they just
We used to have membership. We eliminated membership this year, where you don't have to pay to be a member.
Okay.
Now you can donate if you want, but at this point, we're just anybody that's in the fashion industry. You can reach out to us for support and say, "Hey, I'm an aspiring model, just looking to find work. I'm just trying to figure out, put me in the right rooms, connect me with the right people, or maybe you're design clothes, but you're trying to figure out how to mass produce it. We may connect you with somebody. So we're just trying to be a resource to support
Yeah,
people that
absolutely.
are trying to grow their business in fashion. But we're just taking donations. I mean, this past Wednesday, we at our monthly DFC Connect, we had another organization, Black Leaders Detroit. They just donated a $5,000 grant to us,
Okay.
and we take money like that and go right into scholarships for people that want to pursue a career in fashion.
Okay. You mentioned inspiring models. So what about you? What type of modeling are you doing?
Oh, I'm not.
Because you giving model vibes. I just
You
said.
know what? I'm trying to. I'm selling.
I'm just
cars.
asking.
I'm selling cars. I mean, now I will say this. I did have an organization reach out to me to put on a gentleman's fashion show.
Okay.
They wanted all men, mature men. They wanted men from 45 to 55.
Okay.
So I did put together a private show with a group of men like that. And we have been talking about creating a gentleman's club where we were just some well-dressed
Yes.
gentlemen
Love
and
it.
just starting to come out together and do different things together
Yeah.
and create like a gentleman's club. And so that's something that's in the works that I may be spearheading.
I'm loving that. I love it, love it, love it. I mean, again, our culture, our swag, and that's just right, kind of in line with what you do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you do it naturally. That's
Well,
not
and
something
that's-
forced. It's
No,
just
no.
natural.
And that's what we talked about.
You've been wearing Ferragamo.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't even wear those no more. It's funny over the years. I went through phases.
Yeah.
I tell my young salespeople wear Ferragamos because their heel is rubber and it's thick on that master. So when you're walking on a lot, you can still have a nice shoe and you're not wearing the heels out. Once I got out of sales, then I can go to Louis and I can move to Christian Louboutin because the
Yeah.
sole's a little thinner. I ain't got to walk around as much. So it was, what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it changes. Then if I got to go back outside, then I might go to a Gucci loafer because the sole's a little thicker. I can wear those. So I don't know. It just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm sitting, I want something with a little thinner sole. If I got to walk around, get something a little thicker.
I'm feeling podcast vibes. I'm feeling podcast / magazine vibes. Like that tip right there. That's like a fashion tip right there. That's not just a fashion tip in the sense of this is what you should be wearing. This is what's in season. This is what's comfortable.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna help you get to the bag. This is what's gonna help bring your confidence. This is what's gonna help bring that out so that your
Yeah.
clients and potential clients see that in you and buy more. This is what's gonna get you on the scene. This will get you invited to certain rooms. That little bitty tip right there. You see how that
you'd
went
be
all
surprised.
everywhere.
I remember one year I started at one of my stores that I worked at. And they had a young group of guys that was all working out. They was smooth. But I felt like they didn't have no style. They was just they was like real fit guys that was well groomed that, just should be just fly. And I was just like, they just need a little something. So I said, you know
Need a
what?
little something.
I'm going to create a sales contest. that the winner of the sales contest getting a pair of Ferragamos and a Ferragamo belt. And I'm taking you shopping to get them. And literally,
and show you how to shop.
and literally, I had the guys working hard. When it got to the winter, I took them to, I think we went to Neiman's out at Novi, got them a pair of Ferragamos, got them the belt to match. It wasn't 6 months later, my whole showroom was wearing Ferragamos. Every salesperson in there, they stepped their belts up, they stepped their shoes up. Now we was doing push-ups in between the breaks, every hour. I'm like, all right, fellas, every hour we doing 25 push-ups.
Okay.
We would go upstairs, take off our shoes, take off our suit jackets. We on the floor in our shirt and ties, just like, then we going to play basketball after work. We going to spin classes at Lifetime on our lunch breaks, taking a shower, coming back to work, and they just, our whole team just started making money. I mean, they start feeling good.
Feeling
they start
good, looking
making
good.
looking good. I mean, everything about it, the whole energy changed. And now, when I look at that group of guys that worked together during that period of time, every last one of them became managers, general managers, finance managers, still top salespeople. That whole group, is probably one of the best group of guys I ever worked with.
You are so inspirational. I mean, I'm just sitting here, my mind is going, right? Because I'm just thinking of, I know you got enough hats you already wear, you got enough jobs and titles, but my mind is just spinning. Like, man, Kevin needs to be, in these schools, talking to these young men about fashion. Just what you said right there, how it changed the whole mindset. It changed their tax bracket, okay?
All of them.
And
to this day,
fitness.
they still got it. You know what I'm saying? They still dress nice. They look good. They well groomed. They making money. And just that confidence, man. And those guys, you know what? To this day, they thank me. I'm kind of like the older guy in the industry now. I mean, where I used to be the youngest.
The OG.
Yeah, I used to be the young guy with all the OGs in the car business. Now I'm the old guy.
You the OG.
So it's funny. All those guys that I came up under, they are retired or they moved out the way, and then now I made it up to GSM. Next level could be for me to be a GM or own my own store. So it's just for a lot of those guys to see, hey, I was right there with them, and they saw me slowly working my way up.
Slowly working your way up. That's why I started this interview at the bottom.
You did?
How we worked up to. But the grind was always there, and the consistency was always there.
Yeah. And sometimes I just go with what felt natural. I always wanted to do something that I would be doing anyways. That's why I never partied on Tuesdays, because I work late on Monday. Tuesday ain't a good day for me. Wednesday, break the week up. I'm off on 6 on Tuesdays. So I got time to go get a haircut, get myself together. Come Wednesday, I'm coming out.
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out. And still maintain, you just an all around good guy. I saw your post the other day, your birthday to your oldest daughter. Just an all around good guy,
I'm so proud of them. I mean, she's a senior at Michigan this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's already, finna transition to law school, and she's working with Mike Moore's office now while she's still finishing her law degree. But my youngest daughter is a sophomore at Eastern, so they both just doing great things.
Kudos. You're just winning all around, even with the kiddos.
I'm trying, I swear.
No, you are. You are, truly. So what's next for you as far as, before I go to what's next, getting back to the fashion community, the networking events, if people want to be a part and follow you guys, can you give that information out so how they can follow you?
So we are DetroitFashionCommunity.org on Facebook, Instagram, and you can go to our website as well. We do a networking event the first Wednesday of every month from 7 to 10.
Is that a wind down Wednesday?
Well, but you notice it's still Wednesday, though, right? It's not an accident. It's not an accident that's the day I'm coming outside. So
right.
And honestly, I think when we first started talking about this, they wanted them on Thursday night. I'm like, no. If I'm director of events, Wednesday night is the night we're coming out.
Okay.
But now we do the first Wednesday of every month, and I try to keep it exciting. So every month I do it somewhere different.
Good.
I generally don't tell them until about 2 weeks prior to just kind of keep that anticipation up. and then I'll generally pop out where I'm gonna do it at. And I've been partnering with all the newest venues, restaurants. I mean, everybody's been welcoming to us. So
Okay.
it's been pretty nice.
But how do we follow you? How do we know? Like,
Uh,
I may want to come this
well,
first
go to
Wednesday.
our website, DetroitFashionCommunity.org.
DetroitFashionCommunity.org.
Yep, or on Instagram, Detroit Fashion Community, and same thing on Facebook.
Okay.
You can pick us up right there.
Okay, and then we can know where to find Kevin
Yeah,
Maples.
yeah. I mean, like I say, I really try to manage my time. You know, I'm not out networking as often as I used to, but I'm definitely doing it at least 3-4 nights a week. You know,
That's a lot.
But when I was young, it was 6-7 nights a week.
Okay, and we in the same age category. I'm like 3-4 nights a week, but I can't lie. I'm probably out here about that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Detroit, we don't sleep either. You know, I mean, everybody's doing 3 or 4 different things. We all have multiple streams.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, sometimes it's just about support. It may not be something I have going on, but somebody I know have something. I know a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, to be present means a lot.
It does. It does. I actually just did an event on with Roger at Bricks. We did it the other night, and
Actually, I was planning to make it to that, but
oh,
I
yeah, it
didn't
was
make
nice. Her venue is just
Yeah, I've
so
been there. It's real
intimate.
nice.
I love it. And we had some, art on black local artists, art on the wall. One of the artists was there in attendance, so some artwork. And we even had the legend Fast Freddy, who's always fly.
Yeah, always fly. Always fly.
And he brought, like how you said you was going to bring your yearbook for last year. He sure brought out his catalog.
Well, sometimes you got to
He's
remind
like, hey,
people.
I was in GQ.
Yeah, sometimes
representing
you
the D.
Listen, you got to remind people, and you got to think like that. Like, I even reached out to GQ. You know, I reached out to them and let them know, hey, I'm working in the fashion industry in Detroit, and we'll see if they wanted to align with us, and I still got some conversations working with them.
That's what's up. And I just love it. I've always been proud to be from here, but I'm telling you, it's something about in the air. It's something about in the energy right now. I'm proud to say I'm a Detroiter.
100%.
Proud to say that my business is in Detroit. I employ people that live in Detroit.
That's real.
And making an impact on my community, as a black woman.
Nah, that's real.
And I thank you for being here. I wanted all black men the whole month of February
Really? Okay.
as
Cool.
my guests. And let me tell you why. Because I wanted to honor you all and say thank you for being a part of the living black history in the city of Detroit. We in Black Bottom. This is what we are,
That's real.
So, you last week, I had Herb Strather and Ken Scott, and the remainder of the month is people who are relative to right now. Yeah, our past history, yes, that is so important. It's in the textbooks. But what about our people that's making history right now today?
No, that's real. And sometimes even for me, it don't even feel like I'm doing anything that great, because everything I do, I don't do it for it for those reasons. Most times it's just me sitting back and just having a thought, and I just like to bring my thoughts to action. I don't sit on them too long. And if it's something on my mind, if I think about it and write it down, it's coming.
I'm the same way. I love it. So, believe it or not, we have like 60 seconds left.
Okay.
That time went by so fast. Let people know, how can they reach you if they want to buy a new Buick?
Well, hey, like I say, I definitely love to. If you're interested in a new car, I'm down in Ferndale, Les Stanford Buick GMC. We're on Woodward between 8 and 9 Mile. Like I say, I'm giving out great deals to anybody. And if you've mentioned her show or her business, I'm going to even give you a little bit of something special on top of that, because I appreciate you having me on here. But you can look me up on Instagram, Kevin Maples Inc. I like that because, I like to think of myself as a business. And not really just a businessman.
Oh, you're an entity.
You're right about that.
Literally.
Right,
thank you again for coming. We don't even need the outro music because we're going over, but thank you for tuning in to Beauty in the D. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other social media platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Stephanie Coney. Have a blessed Saturday, Detroit.